This is a full pattern guide for the new limited time item in Counter-Strike 2, which is the XM Solitude, and you will be surprised by how many different and cool patterns this one actually has. I didn't like it at first, but I think that Valve cooked here, and there's 3 things to focus on the patterns for this one, and these are the sunrise, the mountains and the clouds. This video was sponsored by SkinsMonkey, which is a trading platform where you can trade your old rusty CS2 skins for some new shiny ones in seconds. You just select the skins that you want to trade and the ones that you want to get. You click trade and it's done. If you use my code OZNI on the website, you get a bonus of up to $5 for free and a 35% bonus when buying balance. They also host giveaways in the freebies page, and link to SkinsMonkey is in the description. Starting off with the blue mountain patterns, and these blue mountain ones include a sun or a sunrise, however you want to call it. And for this, the best ones are the ones which have the sun as centered as possible. Look at it this way, the more centered the sun is, the better your pattern is likely to be, and therefore the more it's likely to be worth. And here's the list of the currently found top 1 patterns, and there's others which also look cool with the sun in the bottom right. I guess we can call this tier 2 patterns, but they aren't as good as the centered ones. And then there's also these patterns where you can barely see the sun. If we go by tiers, I guess that these would be called the tier 3 ones, so overall these aren't as good as the previous ones, and there's actually a lot of them. And the last blue mountain patterns are the ones that includes 2 suns. It will probably take many months until we know for sure how valuable these are, but there's actually quite a bit of them. And then we're going over to the green mountain patterns, and the concept here is very similar to the last ones that I showed you, except of course the mountains are green instead of blue. So basically the best ones, or the tier 1 patterns, are the ones with the centered sun, and this one in specific is pattern 98, and it looks absolutely amazing. There's also patterns with the sun centered but where it's mostly cut, like this one, and there's patterns with the sun in the bottom corner of the skin, like this one that I'm showing in the video. And just like the last one, there's these so-called double sun patterns, which at the moment it's really hard to tell if these are going to be worth a lot or not. And then we're going over to the yellow mountain patterns, and then again this works the same way as the 2 previous ones, except the mountains are yellow, and these might end up being the most desired ones simply because there's a lot less of them. The best ones are still the patterns with the centered sun, and I think that pattern 95 might be the absolute best one possible. And there's also these very rare patterns where the sun is basically behind the mountains. I could even see this one being more popular than the centered sun. From what I see, there's only 2 patterns like this one as well, so they might end up being very rare. And then we have the ones with the sun in the bottom corner of the skin, and we also have the double sun pattern, but to be honest, they look much worse here. I think you can barely see the suns, but from what I see, pattern 731 is the only one where you can find this one, so it is going to be very rare. Going over to the white pattern, and this one is pretty easy to understand. This could also be included in the blue mountain patterns, but the reality is you can barely see the mountains here. The skin is almost fully white, which is pretty unique, and so far only 2 of these patterns have been found. Next up we have the cloud patterns, which is another pretty easy to understand. There's barely any mountains and there's basically no sun, and there's so many of these patterns though, so I don't see them being worth a lot in the future. And lastly we have the no sun and no cloud patterns, and these are basically patterns where all you see are mountains. There's no sun and no clouds in the main part of the weapon. I don't see this being that great either, but it's hard to tell at the moment. Keep in mind that I couldn't include prices in this guide, as it will take several months until we actually have somewhat accurate prices for this. I'll probably make an updated video by then, but if you have any questions about your pattern in specific, comment below and me or someone else from the community will try to help you out. Like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily CS2 skins content.